Happy Tuesday, and welcome to Super Mania. We are going to hopefully be talking to the wonderful Jes See of Bipolar Comedy Club. We are having a little bit of technical difficulties this morning, so please do bear with us, but we're going to do the best that we can. Jess is absolutely incredible. And I know you may be thinking to yourself, Bipolar Comedy Club? What in the world? But it's really cool work. Can't wait to talk to her. And if you're new to the show, just so that you know, Supermania is a show where we talk about all things neurodiversity and mental health. So let's go ahead and welcome Miss Jess. Hi, good morning.
Hi, good evening. Actually, I'm in Malaysia, but hi, I'm
Yes,
so
good
excited to be
evening.
here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. I'm so excited to talk about your work. And thank you for joining us internationally. It's been a while since we've gotten to have an international guest, so I feel very excited to have you. So, first of all, tell us a little bit about you.
Yes. So, hi everyone. I'm Jess. I'm currently in Malaysia. It's the Chinese New Year season, so I'm wearing very festive clothing today.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, a little. Thank you. A little bit about myself. I was diagnosed with bipolar in 2019. I live with bipolar 1 with psychosis. I was diagnosed in the UK when I was still working there. But right now, I'm back in Malaysia with my family, and it has made all the difference. And like Catherine said, I run Bipolar Comedy Club, but I'm sure we'll get into that in a moment.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And I think it's really interesting too. I love to talk to people about their different experiences because especially with a late in life diagnosis, it really can make a difference in your interactions with your family and your friends to then understand what's going on with you and be able to work with it instead of probably against it. Has that been your experience?
Yeah, absolutely. And especially growing up in Asia, mental health is just what was never really discussed. And when I was first diagnosed, my mom actually thought, strongly believed I was possessed instead of, admitting that it's anything to do with genetics or biological. I went along with it. I went to lots of like shamans and spiritual doctors, both like Chinese and Western, and I was like, but I've been trying to communicate the what I've learned from psychoeducation and therapy. They're a bit more woke now.
Good. Well, and to be real fair, if you don't understand what's going on, it can be very confusing. So people hear stuff like that and they're like, why would you ever think that? But if you don't understand what's happening and it's not something that's really been spoken about around you throughout your life, why would you know? So you do kind of want to give grace to people who go through that. But I know that's just just the same. It was, oh, you have a happy New Year's wish from one of our audience members who is in Europe.
Thank you.
Um, so tell us a little bit. So Bipolar Comedy Club, whenever I've said that to people, it kind of catches them off guard, right? So tell us a little bit about the awesome work that you're doing with Bipolar Club and what it's all about.
Thank you. It has evolved quite a bit since I first took it on. It initially started as a purely clubhouse house, whereby, for those of you who don't know Clubhouse, it is a audio verbal social media app. And yeah, we came together on Clubhouse to start rooms just to talk about our experiences living with bipolar. And the twist with Bipolar Comedy Club is we try to make it lighthearted. We try to laugh at the crazy things that have happened to us respectively. And yeah, so we
Like
we
being
ran
exercised
sessions.
by a shaman, was that in there? Is that a routine that you have?
We talk about everything, even the depressive patches. We try to like spin it into something humorous, like dark humor. Sometimes, trigger warning, we even joke about like self-harm and suicide in a safe capacity. We're not
Right,
encouraging.
right.
It's just we to sort of rationalize on Clubhouse. And then it evolved into Instagram, where I now do Instagram lives, I run a segment called Friday Frasier.
I think that Jess is frozen. I can't quite tell what people can hear. Um, so I'm just going to say, if you need to find Bipolar Comedy Club, I will definitely be posting a link to this later. But you can also just search them on Google and or Clubhouse and find them as well. I don't know if Jess is still frozen on her end or if I'm frozen. Like I said, we are having some technical difficulties right now. Um, but I do want to kind of continue the conversation about the bipolar. So I want to be very clear. We don't think that being bipolar is funny in terms of not taking it seriously, but laughter is a great medicine, right? And so that's something that we value very much. Absolutely. It really is a great way to help you process what's going on, to help you heal, to help you grow. And so that's what we're promoting here. And that sense, and to find that sense of community. I know I also have bipolar one, and um I have a very dark sense of humor about it as well. As Jess pointed out. Oh, yep, we officially lost Jess. I'm sure she'll pop back on as soon as she's able to. Um, and so it can be very difficult, right? With bipolar one, but when you find that dark sense of humor and you're able to laugh about it, you're able to breathe about it and really have open discussion about it. And the same thing is true for other mental health diagnoses, for physical diagnoses. For instance, I have a very near and dear human to me named Stacy Kaysen, and she is highly supportive. And she came on the show one time, and we were talking about my seizure activity. And you'll see me, doing this bit sometimes and kind of shaking around. And she says, "Well, that's just your dance moves. Like, it's no big deal." And so now that's what I call them. I just call them my dance moves. That's just what it is. It's just part of me. It's no big deal. And that's kind of the attitude that we're trying to bring to this, is that it's no big deal aspect. Hi, welcome back.
I'm back.
It's okay. It's okay.
So you encouraged me to keep talking.
Yeah,
it was buffering, but I kept talking, and then it just spazzed out.
Yeah, I don't know which one of us they were hearing for a while, and then you disappeared. So then I just talked for a while. So now we have you back, and I kind of explained, why we think comedy is great and how it can be helpful. And so you can hear that there's still a lag, folks. Be a little bit patient with us. But Jess, as soon as you can hear me again, and as soon as everything catches up, please tell us a little bit more about your journey into this field and into Bipolar Comedy Club, and where you see it going. She'll be with us. Just give her some time. She's got to catch up. Oh, I think we're losing her again. That's okay. We're going to just keep on going. So apparently this is the Catherine show today. Who knew? That's all right. So, and having Jess on is something that I've been wanting to do for a while. We've been trying to make it work for quite some time. And as you can see, cross country, it could be a little across the world. It can be very difficult, but it's important to understand different people's perspectives. So, we talk a lot about the difficult side of this, the challenging aspect to mental health and to neurodiversity, but there is the happier side, the lighter side. We talk about the superpowers too, but sometimes you have to bring humor to the dark in order to give it light, right? In order to make it something not so scary, not so difficult. It's just one of those things, right? And we're going to hold on here. We're going to see if we can get Jess back. If not, I'll wrap it up fairly soon. And I do apologize for the technical difficulties. When you're doing things across the world, it could be a little complicated. So thank you, everyone, for your grace. But I do want to say, if anybody has any questions about bipolar, about finding resources, about any of that, please just hop in the comments and I'll be glad to answer your questions. So I'm going to tell a little bit about my story and how I ended up doing this and talking about this and getting on stage and talking about what goes on with me. So I was diagnosed very young. I was diagnosed unofficially at about 12 because you're not supposed to give a formal diagnosis for bipolar 1 at that stage, along with several other very fun diagnoses like OCD. And so obsessive compulsive disorder, if you didn't know that. And so I was unofficially diagnosed at about 12 and then continued to go from there with the bipolar. And it's been a very interesting journey for me. It's been a lot of, I decided early on I didn't want to medicate because the medications available at the time were not very good. They were highly addictive. They could be very dangerous, and I didn't want any part of that. So I spent the next decade with the guidance of for a while of an excellent psychologist, then just doing my own research, help from my parents, support from my loved ones, eventually my partner, of teaching myself to manage without medication. I want to be very clear. I do not support that avenue for everybody. Whatever works for you. Okay. I'm not saying don't medicate. That's not what I'm saying. That was not the right choice for me. So that's a little bit. So I went through this whole long journey, and along the way, I found a lot of things funny. I found a lot of things light, and I've learned to laugh at a lot of what goes on, including physically. So that's a little bit about me and how I got here. Started at 12 dealing with this. It runs in both sides of my family. It's rampant on one side. So I grew up watching this. I understood it. I knew what the beast was, so to speak. So I was in very good position to tackle it. And so that's been my goal. So now I like to talk about this, and let's see if we can get Jes back. Are you back with us? We're having a little bit of a lag still. Can you hear me?
Hi.
Nope, I don't. There she is. Okay. All right. Can you tell us a little bit, whenever this catches up, can you tell us a little bit more about Bipolar Comedy Club and some of these stories that you have about it? I'm going to give her just a minute.
Yes. Yes, I can, but it shows that I'm still backstage. Hi, I can hear you.
Long, awkward pause being inserted here. Can you hear me, Jes?
I don't know whether you can hear me.
She's talking, and she's showing us her guns, which is pretty cool. I think we're just jinxed. So I think, unfortunately, we're going to have to wrap up this episode now. I'm very disappointed. It's just, that's some very cool work. Definitely go check her out. I 100% support her work. She's extremely gifted, extremely skilled. Please go check out Bipolar Comedy Club. Connect to Jes. She will be an excellent resource for you. But for right now, I think we're going to have to say goodbye because it seems like we're still pretty severely lagged. Is that right, Jes, or can you hear me? Nope, I think we're still severely lagged, so I'm going to let everybody go. But thank you all so very much for joining us. So sorry for the technical difficulties, but go check out Bipolar Comedy Club. It is awesome.